days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Some days are better than other days, but these days, life is better with you. Life is better. Tell me what you want, I'll give you all that you need with my heart, my hand saying please, baby, please, because nobody does that thing you do better than you. And thoughts to swim around in my head.
Welcome to All Things Napa, our April edition.
April edition.
Yeah, we're clipping right along.
I know.
The year's going by fast.
It is. It's amazing how fast it goes, though.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're, what, officially out of a drought? All this rain.
Yeah, all this rain.
Love it.
It's all good. Spring has sprung.
Yes, it has. I mean, it's like all the cherry blossoms are just bloop, bloop. It's coming out, you know, and it's good stuff.
We got a great show today. We got Rachel Cusick from OLE Health. We've got we got a business spotlight, we got a mortgage spotlight.
And we got Dr. Ron Kraft from
the Napa Valley College, the president of Napa Valley College.
Yeah.
The number one rated
in California.
Two-year college, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How did you land that? That is,
yeah, you know, it's who you know, and you know.
This guy has the connections in the valley, let me just tell you right now, okay, folks. Anyways. Well, that's good, though. It's going to be a fun show. I look forward to it. And but first, we're going to cruise right along to the business spotlight.
None other than my brother, Ken Miller, with American Solutions for Business for our business spotlight.
Yes.
Welcome, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bro.
Bro.
Is that how you guys still refer to each other?
No.
Never.
No. I don't know why. We said brother.
Oh, me and my brother do the same.
We usually use our names kind of,
Yeah.
But tell us about American Solutions for Business.
Well, thank you for having me, obviously. American Solutions for Business is a company that's dedicated to helping all types of companies market their business through the use of promotional marketing and printed collateral. It's a product that helps businesses attract new prospects and also keeping engaged with existing client base.
Oh, that's good. And what kind of products are we talking about when you...
Well, a promotional product is basically described as any tangible or physical item that's printed with a business's name, logo, and message. So that can be everything from apparel to pens and pencils and custom printed wine glasses, shopping totes, anything that's has utility and has a brand on it.
And utility helps it be held on to and used by the user, as opposed to the squeeze things, you know, say, that's kind of neat, and then it goes away.
Yeah. I have a tendency to preach utility quite vehemently just because it does help a product stay around and be used and be useful. If something has a purpose, you're less likely to throw it away, and you're less likely to use it. Lose it, I should say. You want to use it rather than lose it. So.
Well, they definitely work, and we're in the business for it, so we know that most. But those promotional products work. Sometimes you just slap a calendar on the refrigerator to remind you to call that person when the time comes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's an incredibly powerful marketing tool. Promotional marketing is because it physically engages the consumer with your brand. So if it's something that you tangibly have, use, need, it helps your life become easier, then there's a physical sensory involvement with the customer.
That's pretty unique to any other marketing.
Any other form of advertising, right. It's also one of the lowest cost forms of advertising people don't realize. Right. For example, the average cost per impression can be as low as 0.4 of a cent every time your brand is seen. That's great. So imagine a business spending a half a penny to have their name seen by a consumer.
Boy, that's a lot better than Zillow's margins, huh? Right there. Anyway, well, thanks, Ken, for coming on and describing your business and telling us a little bit about what you do. We have his information up on the screen there. It's American Solutions for Business. It's Bro. Miller. No, I'm just kidding. It's Ken Miller, the brother of Lee Miller. He is the regional manager, and his number there, 595-1100, and you see his email and his website on the bottom there. So thanks again, and we are coming. What are we doing next here? Let me think. Oh, we are doing a interview with Rachel.
Oh yeah.
From OLE Health Center. Yeah. So that's exciting. Stick around.
Well, that was our business spotlight. Happened to be my brother. You know, got a keep it in the family here, but that was
It's a sharp guy.
Yeah.
He's a sharp guy. You guys are, you know, the Millers.
Yeah.
Millers are sharp guys.
Yeah, keep that in mind. But right now, we are honored to have Rachel Cusick here today from OLE Health.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, and specifically, and OLE Health does as a broad picture.
Okay, sure. So OLE Health is our community health center. It is a federally qualified health center in Napa Valley. We are the second largest healthcare provider. So we are primary care and preventative care. Kaiser serves about 8,000 more people annually than we do, but yeah, we love seeing patients. We love providing preventative care. We see a lot of underinsured or uninsured families throughout the valley, as well as seniors, and really will accept anyone who comes through the doors. Insurance, uninsured, Medicare, Medi-Cal, which is the Medicaid for California. So yeah, so we're a health center. We're doing really, really well. We're happy to be in Napa. We love this community. And my specific role, I am the fundraiser. I'm the Chief Development Officer for OLE. So I really focus on making sure that we have the money we need to provide the care for our patients that deserve it.
So the better you do at your job, the more patients. That's kind of a lot of...
That's a little bit of pressure you're putting on me, Lee.
Well, no, you obviously are very good at what you do because
yes.
it's so successful.
Well, I think that we are so successful because the care we provide is just such top quality care. The providers across the board, from our dental providers to primary care to behavioral health, it's just very, very high quality care that people are receiving. It's bilingual, if that's your preference, and so I think there's a trust established in the community because we've been here since 1972. So later in this year, I imagine, May, June, you'll start seeing more about 45 years of OLE. Right now, though, what we're working on is closing out the capital campaign for the South Napa campus. We are building from the ground up, thanks in great part to the Napa Valley Vintners and the Gasser Foundation and Trinchero Family Estates, a lot of really wonderful Napa organizations and individuals that have supported the campaign, a brand new health center in South Napa to serve that burgeoning population that's growing down there. So 15,000 new patients. It'll help us with our overcapacity issue right now. We're at about 135% of capacity, so we desperately need this new space, and I think it'll help our community meet the need for years to come.
Well, I know that you have an event in April, which we'll touch on, but like, what about the healthcare debate, though? How's that affecting your health centers?
That's a great question, and I think it's on everybody's mind right now, right? So healthcare is in the news and the media constantly. The Affordable Care Act was incredibly helpful for people here in Napa County, just like it was for people across the state. It is a great partnership between the Fed and the state to provide health insurance coverage for people who are typically uninsured. So that might be a farm worker who's 35 years old that doesn't have any children. Well, he's not eligible before affordable care for health insurance. So he's uninsured. So he only comes to the doctor when he has to, and it's usually at the emergency room. He doesn't have to do that anymore because he has insurance. So he can come in and get regular care, make sure that his health is in check, know if he's pre-diabetic or has hypertension issues. We can deal with these things before they become a crisis.
Right.
So for us, the Affordable Care Act has been hugely beneficial. We didn't necessarily see our total population numbers rise. What we saw was people have access to health insurance, which they had never had before. So we had much fewer people in emergency rooms and a much higher group of people who really wanted to take an active part in their own health care. It's been great. And we really, and we're hoping for the best. We have great political leaders here, elected officials who are fighting the good fight for us. But call your local leaders, call your congresspeople. You know, really get in touch and talk to people about this. It's really important that we try to keep it.
What message would, I mean, can you narrow that down that we would give to those leaders?
I think you could tell your elected officials that affordable health care is important to every person that lives here and that you want your neighbors to have access to that. I think that you can tell them that all people have the right to receive health care with respect and dignity, and that what actually happens is that all of us who have health care through private insurance suffer when we marginalize people who can't afford care, because they end up putting a greater burden on the system overall. It just, everybody loses in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what can viewers out there, you know, watching, how can they support the health center like yourselves?
Oh, thank you for asking that. Yeah, so I think a really good way to support health centers and community health in general is to be an advocate for community health. So talking to those elected officials is important. The other thing we would love to do is have the donations that we need to close out the capital campaign. It's a $15 million capital campaign, and we've raised $13.7 million so far. That's part of what the event is about. So if you go to our website, olehealth.org, you can find out more information about the event and purchase tickets. It's going to be fabulous, but it'll also help us raise the money we need to finish the campaign.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. Salsa band, salsa dancing. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You doing lessons or just?
Maybe lessons, depends on who's there.
Good salsa, bad salsa dancing.
Yeah, we won't be judging for sure. At least that'll be certain. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So is the event in April? Where is that going to be held? Is that going to be held at the new center?
It is.
So everybody can see it?
Yeah. So if we were that far along, we'd love to do that. The event is April 29th. Right. We're selling tickets online now. You can learn through social media or through our website, like I suggested. I think you guys are going to share some contact information afterwards as well. Right. How to get in touch with us. So the event is a pop-up space. We're building tents adjacent to where the new building is going. So you'll see the diggers and the there's other construction equipment that I don't know about that's going to be out there.
Movers.
And exactly, big stuff like that. And so there'll be a big, beautiful tent and space there with cocktails and a beautifully catered dinner by Elaine Bell and some really interesting presentations and just kind of celebrating this incredible community that can support a health center like this for 45 years. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
What's your background?
Background.
Kind of going backwards.
Yeah, backwards to the beginning. I've worked in fundraising for a long time. I love it. I think I just have the best job in the world. I get to go and talk to people about what inspires them and what they love and connect that in a meaningful way to making a difference, which I think is something we all desire. So I've been in fundraising for a long time. I worked with Boys and Girls Clubs, and in New York I was in fundraising on that side as well.
I need to bring her to my parents' board meeting at my school because I can come up with the ideas. The whole fundraising.
So like, many people have problems, but talking about money, with other people. But I will pick both your pockets. I'm fine with that. I love it. I mean, but truly, if we can both make a difference that's meaningful for us, if it's $1 or $1,000, we feel so good.
Right. Yes. And you're just transferring your passion from yourself to those whose pockets you're.
And we get to do it together.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. Yeah, I just love it.
Well, Rachel, thank you for coming on. I mean, you gave us a lot of information. It's a very important topic here in the, healthcare. Everybody, that's a big debate, obviously, in our country, and so it's nice that we have the outlets for these people to go to, but we really need to find how everybody can be insured. That's the important. That's the biggest debate, right? Everybody needs to be insured.
Everybody needs to be insured.
And make it affordable.
And be able to go to receive health care, right? So our doors are open to everyone, whether you have insurance or you're uninsured or Medicare, whatever the case may be. And as the number of doctors continues to decrease in Napa County because people are retiring, it's a very expensive place to move into, those health centers become even more important. Yeah, and they're important to the hospitals too. We have great partnerships with the hospitals and they're supportive of us, just like Kaiser is. We're very unique in that we're able to all help each other to support the people that live in this county.
Right. Well, this is a great place to live, that's for sure. Everybody's supportive. Well, we have the information up on your screen here. It's Rachel over at, she is the Chief Development Officer at OLE Health. Her number is there on the screen, and so is her email. Check out the event in April. But coming up next, though, you are doing the Napa Real Estate Minute, and you're going to be talking about pocket listings. Talking about pockets.
What's a pocket listing?
I don't know. We'll find out next, right here.
Hi, I'm Lee Miller, and it's time for the Real Estate Minute. Today I'm going to talk about pocket listing. What is a pocket listing? A pocket listing is a property that's going to be coming on the market, but nobody knows about it except the person that's selling their home and perhaps their agent. It's not on the multiple listing service yet, and so it's not going to be as competitive. That's really the big thing there. So one of the ways that we can find out about pocket listings is being very involved in the community of realtors, knowing lots of realtors, asking them, hey, do you have any pocket listings coming up? This is what I'm looking for. I've got a buyer that's looking for 3.2, 1,500 square feet. So if you'd like to talk to me more about pocket listings or anything about real estate, just give me a call. My information's on the screen, 707-266-1585. Lee Miller with your Real Estate Minute.
And that was the Real Estate Minute. That was a great tip. I mean, really, we need to know more about pocket listings. You know, not many people know about that, but if you're a buyer, you can definitely say, hey, to your realtor, you got a pocket listing you know about?
Yeah.
Right?
Or do you have one?
Yeah. Well, our next guest is Dr. Ron Kraft. He is the Napa Valley College's president. And welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Thank you for coming on to the show.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you being here. I mean, that's one of our nice staples in the community, the college.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what our show is all about, too, is all things Napa that pertain to the community. And it's very nice for you to be here and be able to share the information you're going to share.
Delighted to be here. You know, on this point, we're 75 years in, so our 75th anniversary is going to be the 17-18 year.
Oh,
so there'll be a whole bunch of community events, and we can kind of plug now for that. So that's an exciting piece. I've been in 5 years, and I feel like I'm now just beginning to get a sense of Napa, you know. And as somebody said at Rotary, well, you know, Napa's there; they always show up, kind of a thing. Yeah. So our focus is really to be a part of it.
Well, to start it off, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became president.
Well, there's a long story.
Well, we got a little. No,
I'm a combination of educator. You know, taught high school, community college world. Was a prof in the community college for a long time. Administrator. Have been a president of a couple universities, the Washington State system, and then back down here to Napa, which is the crowning jewel of all of that. So when I got the call for this one, I literally jumped in my car and drove from Seattle to take this job.
Well, the #1 college or two-year college in California. Right?
Yeah. Stanford is 4, and the 4-year college. We're the #1 2-year college, 2 years in a row. Very proud of that.
Yeah.
Great.
See the banner on the building?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's that's been really good. That's really about one of our goals is to maintain the whole quality of service, and it's a balance. You know, so when you're trying to really address the community's needs and outreach, and then stay focused really on students, right? You know, it's about that. So we've been recruiting this year, hired a lot of teachers, brand new faculty. It's kind of that baby boomer retiree, and we've hired, since I have been there, we've hired almost half of the college is new in the last 5 years.
What's a normal attrition rate in, say, a 5-year period?
Oh, it depends. It really is seasonal, but because of the baby boomers, you know, are out, it's a little higher.
I was going to say
than normal.
That's a lot higher
but
than normal.
For our 110 or so full-time faculty, you know, maybe 10 a year or so, somewhere in there. And then we have a couple hundred part-time and 100, you know, staffers and about 50 administrators. So there's always somebody, you know, going on.
You know, would you tell the young people today, you know, just before they're headed to college and they're in their last year of high school, I mean, would you recommend to go to a 2-year university and before going to that 4-year? I mean, I know that was something I should have done, I felt, as, you know, as a young person.
I heard that. You should have done that.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. You know, I think when I went to community college, I'm a first-generation college grad, and it was almost a second choice. If you couldn't go San Diego State, then you would go to a local JC, that thing. It's completely shifted in the last 10 years. So now community colleges across the United States are the Tier 1 choice. So that's the first choice of the broad majority. Over 80% of all students now are doing that.
Is that driven primarily by economics?
It certainly is. And also the ratios. So the ratio teacher to student ratios are lower at the community college. Economics are good. My 2 sons go here. And if they wish at some point to transfer, that's certainly their call. But you know, 50,000 versus the 2,500 is pretty good for them to think about in student loans.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that is the big trend across the United States right now, and we're growing as well.
I know that I grew up in Santa Rosa, and I didn't go to the JC over there because I felt, not being very academic oriented, I needed to immerse myself and be in a 4-year school. But tuition was only $95 a semester back then too, so it wasn't like a big deal.
It has changed. And I think, remember the old days where it used to be, college prep or not college prep,
Right.
High school,
Right.
Shop classes, that stuff. That's totally spun on its head. So the hot careers really are in career and technical education. We're kind of an innovative leader, I like to think of us. So we have a great viticulture program and a great STEM, which is that science, technology, engineering, and math program. Kind of both sides. And we got all those folks together and they said, well, what are you doing? We're doing robotics and drones. Somebody said, well, why don't we do a drone technician and ag program? So we're certing. When you cert after that year, that's between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. And so, and I'd like to talk to my English major son who went to UW, who was still trying to work on $50,000. So there are really good, wonderful technical jobs out there, and that's really the pathway.
I mean, would we have been talking about this 5 years ago? Drone technology. I mean, just getting the operator behind. Learning now. It's in schools now. It's high schoolers are learning how to put these things together and making these robotic type of things. I mean, it's just amazing. It's picking up. Like technology is like picking up faster now.
Yeah,
it is.
Is that what you're seeing?
There are robotics clubs everywhere.
Yeah.
And in this valley, hospitality, culinary, wine is still king.
Sure.
And so we're rebooting all of those programs. Hospitality is now a degree and certification program. Wine school, we're the biggest wine school in the United States.
Wow.
Which is, we have a couple thousand students every year who roll through that. And we're growing. There's a new campaign that's going on to build a wine education center, so kind of take us over the top. So that'll be a capital campaign next year, which we're very excited about.
Oh, hey, you could use Rachel.
We could. Yeah, could. I'm going to give her a call. Yeah, absolutely.
So we've just got a couple minutes left. I want to make sure, are there any points that you haven't been able to bring up that you wanted to be sure?
Oh, an hour's worth. But yeah.
In that minute.
Yeah, there's a couple, wonderful things. We're working with the Gasser Foundation and the city and county on student, faculty, and staff housing, which is on the north part of our campus. And we're still exploring the feasibility, but that's a very exciting possibility, relieving some of the traffic. And one of the old saws here was, out at the college. I heard that when I came in. Oh, you're out at the college. And out at the college. 5 minutes from downtown.
Right.
We're a mile and a half from downtown. So we're really wanting to be a really good, solid community partner. Really reach out. We're calling it 1 degree. Right. Everyone in the valley is just 1 degree away from the college.
Wow. Well, I know you're doing things with the Pathway Home as well.
We are.
We've only got a minute left. Can you?
Yeah, fantastic. We are. The Valley is one of the biggest cohorts of veterans, returning veterans. We have a lot of veterans at school. The Pathway Home is now coordinating with us and a couple hospitals to kind of put an integrated package together. Right. Not just on your own, but education, great learning, a good career path, along with counseling. I'm very excited.
Yeah, all the faculty has been trained, right?
Yes, not all the faculty, but all the counseling staff has been trained for sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So very exciting.
Well, thank you very much for coming and
thank you for
enlightening us on
appreciate it.
Out at the college.
Out at the college all the way
It's just a stone's throw.
That's it. Yeah.
We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you both.
Thank you.
If you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Ronald Kraft, you can see his information right up there on the screen. Go ahead and send him an email, but don't bother him with just trivial stuff. Make it important. Make it something substantial.
Well, send your application and say, please, would you accept me to the...
I don't think he's going to be looking at applications.
Open access, anybody, everywhere.
But he is accessible to the community, and that's what this is all about.
That's great.
So, thanks.
Love it. Thanks so much.
Well, next, it's the Mortgage Spotlight.
The Mortgage Spotlight.
Who's that?
Martine.
Yeah, he is. He's here.
Yeah.
The man.
People's Equity.
The legend.
Yes. Stay tuned for Martine.
And we have the Mortgage Spotlight. I love the Mortgage Spotlight because it's all of our friends from, from the association. We know them. And so today we have Martine and Bridgette from People's Equity. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
People's Home Equity has been open since 2001. We're a boutique mortgage company. What makes us different, we have operations within our branches, and we can do quick pre-approvals and we can close pretty quick. We have a product called FastPass, and we pre-underwrite the file first, and then we're able to once we're in contract, we're able to close the loan pretty quick.
So underwriting's done locally?
It is done.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And processing's within our branch.
Oh, wow.
And that's a huge advantage for buyers, especially in this type of competitive market. So that's a great product. Yeah. Bridgette, what do you guys do during the year?
During the year, we like to get involved with the community and do all different types of events. Some that we have done in the past with different involvements with some of the...
Well, I know you're with us all the time. I'm in Norbar. I mean, you do a lot of our events and so forth, so...
We do a lot of the events with Norbar. We also like to get involved with the community and help educate them during the home buying process. It can be stressful for the first-time home buyer or the seasoned home buyer, so we do try to help educate them with seminars or different events to build exposure with some of our other real estate resources. So we find that it is important on the same time with being able to get them their home and close quickly, but also have experience is very important as well.
Well, we need to educate those buyers, that's for sure, and everything. Well, with the Fast Pass, right? Is that what it's called?
It's called a Fast Pass,
I'm thinking like going on the Disney rides real quick or whatever. But anyways, no, that's what we need. So those kind of products are really good. Well, thank you for joining us, Martine and Bridgette.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have our information up on the screen. I know we always point. You guys don't know where we're pointing, but there it is. It's People's Home Equity Mortgage Lending, and it's Martine Yataco. He's the branch manager, and there's his number. Please get in contact with him if you want to get a mortgage out there. Buyers, I'm telling you, the market is heating up. Do it. Do it really soon. What's next?
Well, what's next is you doing the real estate market update.
Yes, that is true.
I hope it's as good as the last one.
I hope so.
Okay, we'll see.
Hi, I'm Desi Capaz with your Napa market update. And, we're going to talk about sales pending. Sales pending has starting to take a rise here in this past month. From last month, we seen a 9.2% increase, and that was from homes that were under $799,000. Or 799,000. That's what we were seeing. We saw this increase from last month in January of 2017. So what that tells you a little bit is that the market is starting to heat up, okay? We're getting in the spring market, and buyers are in there making offers and putting them under contract. Listen, buyers, you need to get out there pre-approved and start. It's really competitive. So if you want to talk to me, give me a call at my number, 707-260-9906. Enjoy the Napa Valley life.
Well, that was a great market update.
Yeah.
It's good to see that inventories might be creeping up a little bit. More homes on the market.
We hope so, yeah.
There's certainly a lot of buyers.
We got to get those sellers to sell. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, we had a great show. We thank you for listening. Thank you for our guests, Dr. Ronald Kraft, Rachel Cusick, and our business spotlight and our mortgage update. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Wonderful guests. It was a great show. I had a really fun time doing it. And, you can always reach us at, we do have an email address, allthingsnapatv@gmail.com. It's up on your screen right here. And you can always comment or give us feedback or, just ask us anything.
Or some, suggest guests.
Suggestions, yes. Yeah. Definitely. We're always looking for feedback and suggestions, that's for sure. So, well, I want to thank also, too, is your son for the nice, beautiful photo in the back and the wonderful open with the drone shots of Napa. And
Miller.photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's his website. Check it out.
Yeah. So, and the wonderful logo that...
Shayla did,
Yeah, we'll have her on the show soon, too.
Yeah, next month.
Yep.
All right, folks. We'll see you next month.
Definitely. Right here on All Things Napa.
Some days are better than other days, but these days life is better does that thing and do better than you. And thoughts to swim around in my head.